Hello out there, my name is Nancy. This is my first ever YouTube video. Uh, I've made a few attempts already and it's quite the struggle, but I do have an important message that I need to get out, so here I go. First of all, today is Remembrance Day, November 11th, 2020, and throughout the month of November, we remember the dead, and today in a special way we remember those who have died in war, fighting to defend our country. So we remember them with love and prayers. And we remember all the dead, especially our beloved family members and loved ones who have passed away. My grandmother, my paternal grandmother, recently passed away, so I'm remembering her in my prayers. And also, how can we forget, lest we forget all of the babies who have died because of abortion. So we need to be ever mindful of them and of continuing always the fight to end abortion. In Canada, our situation is completely obscene. We have no legislation against abortion. It's completely rampant. Our government promotes abortion not only here but overseas, and taxpayers pay for abortion whether we agree with it or not. And so something has to change. And we have a shot at changing the law in Canada because of Mary Wagner. Mary Wagner is a pro-life heroine, as she's hailed by an article on LifeSite News, a recent article, the title of which is Canadian Pro-Life Heroine Appeals to Supreme Court in Fight to Save Babies from Abortion. I recommend, please, if you can, go to LifeSite News and check out this article. It's extremely important because of Mary Wagner's efforts. For many years, she's been going into abortion clinics, and in a very loving manner, she tries to reach out to the women who are intending to have abortions, and she tries to offer them alternatives. She tries to show them love and compassion and understanding, and she shares that information with them that maybe they aren't aware of, that there's help, there are supports out there, there are organizations that work to support women so that they can choose life for their babies. And so she does this very courageous work, and she spent a lot of time in jail because of it. And she's been in and out of jail, and her case has been proceeding through the courts. And to date, it hasn't gone very well because, well, as I just said, she's been in and out of jail. She has these reprieves, but whenever there are certain points in time where she goes before the judge and ends up having to go back to jail. So her appeals thus far haven't gained much traction. However, at this point in time, her case is about to come before the Supreme Court of Canada. So it's a big deal. The legal challenge it centers on Section 223 of the Criminal Code of Canada, which states that a child becomes a human being when it has completely proceeded in a living state from the body of its mother. This is very problematic because, as you just heard, it denies the humanity of the preborn baby. And, I left out there's a phrase that says the child becomes a human being within the meaning of the act, meaning that piece of legislation. So it really was a matter of convenience, very arbitrary, not grounded in logic or science or reality or truth. Because the reality is that human life begins at conception. So egg and sperm come together and fuse, and this creates a living organism. And not just a living organism, but a living human organism. How do we know this? A living organism we know is alive if it eats and grows. So check and check. And we know that it's human because it has human DNA. So all of the characteristics that that person is going to have, the genetic material is there from the very beginning. And something else which seems important to point out is that after conception, human development is continual. It doesn't stop. So from the fusion of sperm and egg, the cells begin dividing within that new organism, and and the organism develops continually. There are some remarkable videos on YouTube of the development from the point of conception up to birth, how the baby forms and develops, and it's quite miraculous and something to see. So I recommend you check that out as well. But my intention with this video is really to stress and invite anyone who might be coming across this video to please go to LifeSite News and check out the full article about Mary Wagner's case, which is about to come before the Supreme Court of Canada, because it's a shot at changing the legislation in Canada to recognize the humanity of the unborn, and then consequently to recognize the inhumanity of abortion, that it might be recognized as what it is, homicide, the destruction of innocent human life. And personally, I felt that it wasn't that long ago that we had a pro-life politician running for leadership of, well, actually we had two pro-life politicians, Derek Sloan and Leslyn Lewis, who were in the running for leadership of the Conservative Party in Canada. And so my husband and I voted for Derek Sloan. He had a very strong pro-life platform. And so we voted for him, but regretfully, we didn't spread the word all that much. And I have to say also that there's not many people are spreading the word about pro-life politicians and about Mary Wagner and the pro-life cause. And this is something that I can compassionate, because this is only my first YouTube video. There's a lot of things that do need to be exposed and changed and worked on and discussed and brought to the attention of the public. And I really wish that the church, that the priests and the bishops would do more to support pro-life politicians and pro-life witnesses like Mary Wagner. If they would stress the importance publicly and put the message out that Christians, Catholics, believers, pro-lifers need to get behind these pro-life politicians. And it's only once in a while that these opportunities come along. And, there's no excuse really for pro-lifers, for those who know and recognize the humanity of preborn babies. How is it that we would let those opportunities pass by? We need to help each other, I guess is what I'm saying. And I hope this is what I'm trying to do in making this video and putting the word out there, that we can raise awareness, and so people will, at the very least, start to pray from their hearts and know that, there are courageous individuals putting themselves out there, doing the work, but they need that force of support and prayers behind them in order for things to happen. And it's not that it has to be huge. Even a small contingent of people pouring their hearts into this, I think, can make a big difference. So I'm praying about it a lot, And as Dr. Lugosi said, this is a quote from the article, he said, "The importance of the constitutional challenge can't be overstated. It's a unique opportunity that we mustn't let it pass us by." So I urge you to pray about it. First of all, check out the article on LifeSite News. Again, the title is "Canadian Pro-Life Heroine Appeals to Supreme Court in Fight to Save Babies from Abortion." If you read the whole article, you'll get more details about that case and just what's being done. Mary Wagner has said, also from the article, a quote from her is, "Above all, please pray for the success of this case in defense of the unborn and for the healing of suffering post-abortive mothers and all women considering abortion." The reason I'm trying to get this video out today is because the deadline for the appeal to be submitted by her lawyer, Mary's lawyer, Dr. Charles Lugosi, is November 13th. So in just a couple of days, this appeal will be submitted, and I'm not sure how long it will take, what the results of that will be, if it will be heard by the Supreme Court. But if we pray, hopefully it will happen, and we pray for success, that this could bring about real change, that the legislation as it stands, Section 223 of the Criminal Code, which I read, that would be overturned and recognized as faulty or as inaccurate and needing reform. So, and something else that Mary said, I believe, yes, in the article you'll see Mary says, "We have an obligation to defend those who cannot speak for themselves in whatever ways we can." So this is my little attempt, my effort to try and raise awareness, that people will start praying about this and see the importance of it. Because I guess as I started to say, with Derek Sloan, the pro-life politician, my husband and I voted for him, but he did not win the leadership of the PC party as we had hoped. We hoped that maybe he could challenge the Liberal government, which is so pro-abortion. And so it really felt like we kind of blew it collectively as Canadians. Like, pro-lifers, have we rolled over and gone to sleep? We need to be in the fight always and ready, watching for those opportunities, especially when it comes to politics and legislation in Canada, and any opportunities to get that changed. And we had an opportunity, and we blew it. It passed us by. We did not succeed. But now we have another one. So God bless Mary Wagner and Dr. Charles Lugosi. Their efforts have brought it this far. And by our prayers, if we get behind that, who knows what God could grant. We need a miracle. It does feel like a long shot, but that we have in Canada, we have the March for Life every year, which attracts huge numbers of people. So pro-lifers are here, and we just need to be more of a force to be reckoned with. And I really believe God can help us with that, and the Blessed Virgin Mary, through our prayers, the Holy Rosary. As Dr. Taylor Marshall says, pray the Rosary every day. And we do that. We've been doing a novena in support of President Trump. We still hope, and we still have hope that he will have 4 more years in power, and that hopefully abortion will be overturned and be no more in the United States and in Canada. We have to make the most of every opportunity, and never give up. There's no giving up. So that's my message this day. And you'll see in the article there's a request for prayers, and also there's urgent need for donations. So if you go to the article, you'll see how you can do that if you think you might be able to help in that way. And I think that's everything I wanted to say. I made a few notes. So I guess that's it. I thank you for listening. God bless you for if you've listened this far. And again, please just go check out the LifeSite News article and you'll see what I'm talking about.